Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Well, I am struggling with life, life in general. I'm busy, and when I say busy, I don't just mean like busy like I go to work and then like I'm a soccer mom or like I mean I don't know what someone might assume with the word busy, but I feel like it's like busy on steroids. Like busy, busy, busy.
Tell me more about it.
So I'm going to school. I'm in graduate school, and I do that all day. Well, most of the day on Monday, and then Tuesday mornings, and then after on Tuesday I go to work. I live in Salem and I work in Corvallis, so it's 45 minutes away. And I also have 3 kids, and 2 of them go to dance literally every single day of the week. And then I have a 5-year-old who is just kind of there. And I'm pretty sure I don't ever see them. So
Sounds like you have a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
I can see how it can be stressful.
Yeah. I don't often think about just how much I have going on. It's not really anything new. Busy is normal for me, but I'm not sure if this busy is normal for me. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of pressure right now, and I don't know why it feels like there's more pressure than normal, but it feels that way. So I'm just kind of like a chicken with my head cut off.
It does sound like you have a lot of things going on, like from driving, from school and home life. It sounds like you really want to be with your kids.
Most of the time, mostly the little one. So I say mostly the little one, not necessarily to favor him, even though, I mean, like, he's cute. He's the baby. But he has the busiest me. When I had my oldest, I was 18, and, like, I worked part-time, and that was it. When I had my middle, I was doing nothing. Well, I was doing drugs, but then like I was doing nothing, and then I was doing school and treatment, and I got busier, but it wasn't like this. And then with my son, I was actually in my bachelor's program when I was pregnant with him and had him, and I've been in school his entire life, except for, and that school involved practicum. And so then I got a full-time job, and then I started school and had a full-time job. And so, like, I leave before he goes to school in the morning, or before the 2 younger ones go to school. And then I get home at like 7:15, and they go to bed at like, technically they go to bed at 8. They don't go to bed at 8. But it's rough, because then I also have to figure out how to do homework, and the one day off a week that I have, I do nothing, like literally nothing. So I've just kind of been thinking lately that, like, I'm gonna be 34 soon, and I don't do anything except for work and go to school. Like, I don't have me time, fun time. Like this summer I did literally nothing. We didn't go floating, we didn't go swimming, we didn't go to the beach, we didn't do anything.
Is that something that you were wanting to do?
Yeah. It was technically planned. Like, we talked about it a lot before summer got here, and like last summer we went floating and we went to the river a lot, and granted I wasn't in school, but this summer I really wasn't either. Like, summer term wasn't super hectic and busy.
So your life has always been so busy. Like, you have always had like school and, you know, home life and stuff. But it came to the opportunity in this summer that it wasn't as busy, but that you didn't actually go through with the plans that you had? Is that
No, this summer was right. No. Yeah, no, you're right. See, you listen better than I hear my own self. Thank you.
yeah? I just wanted to clarify too.
Yeah.
So,
School-wise, it wasn't busy, and work was just the same as normal.
Mhm.
So,
so what do you think happened?
I think I'm really tired. I think that when given the opportunity to not do anything, I don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like my kids had stuff going on the weekend. Not like every single weekend, but there was stuff.
Mhm.
And I work on Saturdays, but I only work part of Saturday. But like, I don't really want to go do anything. And so then they get the crap into that deal.
So are you feeling a little bit guilty that nothing went on and that you didn't really do much? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I think that there's some guilt there that, you know, they brought up wanting to go do stuff, and it was like, no, I'm tired, or no, we're doing this, or whatever. So, and while like they got to have fun, of course, this summer, even if we didn't do the things that like we talked about, like going floating or whatever, but I don't ever do anything. Like, self-care is unheard of, and like I don't do things for myself, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I kind of feel like I'm just like on autopilot, and I go to work and I do the whole counseling of drug addicts, and then I go home and it's practically the same thing because my kids aren't drug addicts, but like you know, like I work with people who are mentally not adults, and then I go home to kids who are definitely not mentally adults, and it's like a lot of the same thing, and I just don't want to, I don't know.
Are you wanting to have some time for yourself to do things?
Even if it's not just for myself, like, I almost feel like I'm wasting life, even though I'm not wasting life, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not just sitting around on my butt doing nothing. I'm helping people.
Yeah.
My kids lose out on their time with me, but like, I don't think that I think about that often. But that's what I do. I go to work, I go to school, I go home.
Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of things, like, going on already. A lot. If you could tell me about your ideal day, even a week, what would it look like?
Do I have to be going to work on that ideal week? I wouldn't be going. Honestly, like, I think it would be great to have a week where I can take my kids on a vacation. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I work, so I should be able to afford that from time to time, whereas, like, if I wasn't working, I couldn't do that. Like, I could take my kids to Hawaii, or they could go to, well, I wouldn't want to go to Disneyland, but they would want to go to Disneyland, but it would still be fun for me because they're having fun.
Yeah.
But, like, time just keeps going on and on and on, and I'm doing the exact same thing day in and day out with no change. And I think that I kind of, like, I'm not in the moment with anything.
Yeah.
Not even when I'm sitting in a room with a client. I'm not in the moment with anything.
Yeah.
So,
out of all of the things that you mentioned, is that important to you, like being in the moment with the client?
well, yeah.
Yeah, it is important.
I don't want them to feel like I'm not present.
But you're telling me that you don't feel like it.
That I don't feel like I'm in the moment with anything.
What you already told me that you're just so busy, like you're just kind of an autopilot, right? What would it take for you to set that time for you? Like you were telling me your plans that maybe go to Disneyland and do something. What would it take for you to make that actually happen?
That's a good question. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know. Like,
because you're telling me that you were feeling some guilt that nothing that not a lot of things were going on with your kids, like time together or like maybe taking out floating, like you were saying. But it sounds like it is important for you to do those things. So I'm wondering, how can you get there?
I guess like if I actually made it a plan, you know, and like went as far as like I'm putting money aside to go somewhere and do something, so we have to go and do it, and taking the time off of work, and actually like talking about it with the kids, because I'm not gonna be like, yeah, for months and months and months, be like, yeah, we're gonna go and do this, and then when the time comes, be like, just kidding, we're not gonna. And I know that like I work somewhere that's super flexible, and I can take time off if I want. People just can cover my groups. But I already have that happen a lot as it is, because like when I have weekend classes, somebody has to do my groups on Friday and Saturday. Or when my kids have dance competitions, somebody has to do my groups on Fridays and Saturdays because I won't be there. And we just rearranged the group schedule like 2 different times within a couple of weeks for me. So like I feel kind of bad being like, hey, I'm gonna take a week off, can you all cover my 8, now it's 8, it was 9, my 8 groups, and like make sure that my clients are good and check in with them over the week that I'm not here. So you guys are super busy too, and can you take on all of my stuff as well? So like that plays into it a little bit. I think too much.
I'm thinking, again, I'm feeling again that guilt that you do want to do things with your kids, but at the same time, it's like you feel like maybe you're already asked too much of like your coworkers too.
A little bit. Yeah, I mean, I rearranged an entire schedule to accommodate me adding in a class that is only offered all term. So, and I would have had to wait another year to take it if I hadn't done it, because I had 3 groups on Tuesday mornings. Now I do the 2 evening groups, and yeah, I mean, I don't believe that there's like any resentment, and everybody's willing to work around things because education is important to all of us. And I can speak for everybody by saying that, like I know that it's important for everybody else. And so, but it just kind of sucks when you're like, hey, by the way, like we have like 3 weeks, we need to reschedule the schedule for me, because I'm like top priority here.
Is there a time, like a different time of the year that would work best to do what you would want to do?
Like doing stuff in general? I'm a summer person, so I'm all about like, I would rather just not even work during the summer, and do all the things instead of working. And so I kind of promised my kids the next summer wouldn't look like this summer. There was really no reason not to do things this summer. I mean, there was and there wasn't. I'm sure I could have worked my days out to be differently, or to look different, and like done stuff on weekdays and not just weekends, knowing that there was things happening on the weekends. But I mean, like I've got 4 years until my oldest moves out, and I've got like 8 years until my middle moves out, and I got 13 more years with the little one. But still, like I feel like I don't actually think that day is gonna come, and that I can just keep pushing stuff off. You know what I mean?
Why is that?
That I don't know.